Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how you keep making the same kind of decisions, even when part of you knows there might be a better option? Or how some compliments just bounce right off, while one small criticism sticks with you for years? That's not random. Today, we're talking about cognitive anchors, the hidden mental reference points quietly steering your life, often without you even realizing it. Think of cognitive anchors like invisible weights in your mind. They're formed by past experiences, a childhood comment, a big success, a painful failure. And once they're set, your brain keeps using them as benchmarks, even when they no longer make sense. Here's an example. Imagine you made a bad investment 5 years ago, lost money, felt embarrassed. That emotional memory becomes an anchor. Fast forward to today, you see a reasonable opportunity, but your body tightens, your brain hesitates. You tell yourself you're being careful, but really you're being anchored. Here's a quick mental pop quiz. Which feels better, saving $100 on a $200 item or saving $100 on a $20,000 item? Logically, they're identical. Emotionally, most people strongly prefer the first one. That's anchoring in action. Your brain doesn't evaluate value in absolute terms. It compares everything to a reference point, often an arbitrary one. And we cling to these anchors for a reason. From an evolutionary perspective, anchors are efficient. They reduce mental effort. They help us make fast decisions. The problem is, they don't update automatically. Some of the strongest anchors form early. A throwaway comment from a parent. You're not really a math person. People like us don't do that. You might not consciously remember it, but your nervous system does. Years later, that single sentence can still cap your perceived potential. Success can anchor us too. A major win early in life can become a silent standard you keep trying to match. Everything afterward feels smaller, even if it's objectively impressive. And then there's the social anchor. You compare yourself to people you started out with, old classmates, early career peers, LinkedIn connections. Even if your life is objectively good, that early comparison frame quietly defines what enough looks like and breeds anxiety. Anchors show up everywhere. In money, where one good ad or first impression locks in a brand's perceived value. In relationships, where your first serious breakup becomes the blueprint for future expectations and boundaries. In decision-making, where too many past best choices create a mental archive so crowded that choosing anything new feels overwhelming. So, how do you break free? First step, awareness. You can't remove an anchor you can't see. Try a conscious audit. Ask yourself, what past experiences most strongly influence how I see money, relationships, my own worth? Just identifying your top 3 anchors is powerful. Second step, reframing. Anchors are stories your brain tells itself, and stories can be rewritten. A failure can shift from proof I'm bad at this to data that trained me. The emotional weight changes, even if the facts don't. Third step, proactive planting. You don't just remove anchors, you replace them. Small, intentional practices, affirmations, reflection, visualization, create new reference points for your future self. Finally, alignment. Check your mental compass regularly. Ask, is this decision based on who I am now or who I was when this anchor formed? The goal isn't to become unanchored in a chaotic way. It's to become flexible. Because in a fast-changing world, rigid mental reference points can quietly limit your life. Cognitive anchors aren't enemies. They're tools. But once you see them, you get to choose whether they steer you or simply inform you. And that awareness? That's real control.